Welcome everyone out there on Nerd TV. This is the Full Throttle Sim Racing Truck Series presented by Sim Racing Points. We have now exited the 3-race stint at a short track, and now it's on the complete opposite spectrum, that being of a 2.66 mile super speedway of Talladega Super Speedway. My name is Jeremy, of course, and to my right, as always, is going to be Pashibianek. How you doing over there tonight, man?
Doing great, Jeremy. It's nice to get kind of away from the short tracks and open it up here. We got a big super speedway, and I think we can fit quite a few of those short tracks inside this one.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Probably 5 or 6 of them at least. And so I've been watching some practice here, and these guys have been doing it 3 wide, side by side for quite a bit. These guys are looking really racy. Times are obviously real close, and the setups look like they're fairly equal. That's why they're able to get 3x3, and keep it in one massive pack. So it should provide some awesome racing tonight. Quick rundown for the points. We have 4 races left in this season. Casey McMullen does lead the way, 13 points over second place Bobby Terrell, and then Nicholas Casey, who won last week at Bristol, able to propel himself into third, just 30 points out of that top spot, Ken.
Yeah, it's getting kind of close as we're getting towards the end, Jeremy. These points are tightening up, and this is Talladega, so anything can happen tonight. We could have a complete change in the points. We might even have all those drivers within 10. You never know what's going to happen. So, like with anything else, Talladega is just one of those curveballs, and you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. There's 30 registered drivers tonight. Nicholas Casey, and if he happens to win and Casey McMullen finishes last, there's a tie in the points type of deal. So anything obviously at a super speedway can happen, and it can happen quick too. Doesn't matter. We've seen wrecks happen and take out leaders lap 1, lap 2, and there's 75 scheduled laps tonight. So it's one of those deals where, do you run in the front? Do you show your speed? Do you find your partners early? Or do you pull the Dale Jarrett? Do you go to the back? Do you hang out a couple seconds back, avoid everything, and then show up at the last minute? You're going to see lots of different strategies. You might see people dip down, on the back stretch and let everyone by. You'll see some people zoom up to the front real quick. It's just, it's chaos essentially until they get things figured out, and then they have that shootout at the end.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to see a little bit more yellows than we normally do. I mean, they're pretty clean here over at Full Throttle Sim Racing, but it is Talladega, so there's going to be some cautions. But sometimes you never know. I mean, you can go this whole race and just everyone's just super clean with it too, so it could be in the opposite. But more than likely, Talladega, it does breed cautions. But the one to kind of keep an eye on, Jeremy, is those 2 teammates, Richie Coy and Brody Hanna. They finished 1-2 last season, and I don't expect anything different this season coming in here. Richie's been strong all year, and Brody's been right there behind him. He's not been as strong as Richie, but he's pretty close.
Yeah, that guys over there at Fury Motorsports have just been pretty dominant, really, for the most part of the season. Of course, everyone has their one-offs of the season and whatnot, but typically overall, definitely just a solid group. And I'd like to make a mention too. I think Brian Bliss actually heard me talk about him on Monday about him should have run the Crunchy Cookie truck or car. He has brought that skin out for the truck series tonight, so props to him for keying up on that and showing off those colors, because he wants to be a winner just like Kyle Busch was there on Sunday.
Yeah, and that's a great looking car there. That color, that little light blue, the Crunchy Cookie. I mean, gotta love those M&Ms too. It still doesn't come up to the peanut butter ones, but the Crunchy Cookie's pretty good.
Man, those peanut butter ones are they win my heart as well. Those are my favorite. The crispy ones are a close second too. I've not tried the crunchy ones, but that sounds like a blast as well to have. So I'll have to find those and try them out soon.
Look at the racing we got going on here just in practice. A little bit of 2 wide, that high side run going there. Looks like Brody Hanna, Casey McMullen. I saw the 46 there. I think that's Simon Magin. So they're working that high lane, seeing what they can do right now in practice.
Yeah, pretty decent group right here, really. They're kind of moving around left and right, trying to figure out how the truck reacts and draft still, and see if they can make those quick darty moves to, maybe set themselves up for a late race move to get themselves into the top spot. So you got, under 30 seconds left in practice, so just throw anything at it and see if it sticks, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, see what you can do. But these are fun, especially when you got a great group of guys and that can, side draft and race very close, as we see here on our TV between the 46 and the 71 there. It makes it extremely fun to race super speedways. You try to do it in an open session most of the time. It's just a crazy wreck fest. But you got a good group of guys. It's fun because you can swap around different lanes and just kind of take your truck where it wants to go. But I think that right there, Jeremy, I think we just ended practice and we're going to be moving on to qualifying.
Yep, qualifying at Talladega. So that means for us to get our faces off your guys' screens and get start to thank some people out there that make this happen every Monday and Wednesday night for you on Nerd TV. And first and foremost, I'd like to give a big thanks to the league that you guys are watching, that being Full Throttle Sim Racing. They've been doing it for iRacing for 5 years. You've seen them time in and time out. Just put on a hell of a performance. So please check out all their series. They got 4 active ones now. The 5th one, the Saturday series, is coming back soon. They're on their little off season at the moment. So check out everything on their website, ftsr.net, and join the action on the racetrack. Then we have Sim Racing Points, your official presenting sponsor of tonight's Truck Series event and every night on Wednesday. It's that admin's dream, essentially, to keep management of all your points and all the results and everything on your website with customized widgets. Just a super friendly, easy to use product, and some good pricing as well. So please go to simracingpoints.com and check out all their pricing plans. And then we have Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves and all of sim racing. But they make an awesome glove, but they don't stop there. They also make hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and there are customized t-shirts and everything like that. Is the fastest turnaround in the business. It's in and out the doors, quick as possible. Really comfortable, breathing material. Please check out their entire merchandise and apparel lineup at martinsports906.com and throw in the code SUPERNERD at checkout for 25% off everything in your shopping cart. And then big thank you to iRacing iFlag, the official flag partner of Nerditudes. Essentially, it's that 64 light emitting diode LED system. It gives you up to 30 different iRacing indications, whether it be inside, outside. You have a caution flag, checker flag, whatever it is. The little 4x6 3D custom printed LED setup just goes right on your desk wherever you need it to. It's compact enough, but it's super bright. Won't miss anything on the racing surface. You're going to check out that product at iracingiflag.com. And once again, use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout, 15% off. Then we have the Butt Kicker, the official audio enhancement provider of Nerditudes, especially that Gamer 2 unit. It brings all the bumps and feels on the sim racing surface directly into your chair that you're sitting on, basically making you feel like you're at the track. It's one-of-a-kind product, and it gives that much-needed feel that any sim racer would want to get that slight edge over their competitor. If you'd like to check out all of their stuff out, including that Gamer 2 unit, you're going to go to thebuttkicker.com, and then you're going to use promo code at NerdTV if you do decide to purchase one for a good 20% off anything in that shopping cart. And then quick thanks to the official energy partner of Nerditudes as well, that being, of course, Nerd Focus. You super nerd at checkout for 10% off. They have 2 flavors. Green is your sugar. Blue is your sugar-free. Both have an awesome, smooth drinkability, great flavor. Once again, that's going to be Nerd Focus at nerdfocus.com. Super nerd, checkout, 10% off. And then thank you as well to our dirt and asphalt setup providers. On the asphalt side, we have Moonlight Speed Concepts. You're going to find them at moonlightspeed.com. And you're going to also find them on Twitter. Professional custom-like setups that it's going to get you that slight edge over the competition on any asphalt racing surface, especially on the oval side. So if you want to get some extra wins underneath your belt, you're going to go to moonlightspeed.com. And then the dirt setup side is going to be the House of Speed. That'll be at www.houseofspeed.us. Also, you can find them on Twitter. Both of those have Discord. You join in. It's a great community. They update the setups all the time to make them better and better. And they're just like the asphalt side. They're professional setups. They give you that slight edge to beat the competition. Once again, it's houseofspeed.us. All right, guys. We got it looks about 15 seconds left in qualifying. The lap times are getting finalized right now. Simon Magdon, I think, is the last one to be taking time here. And it looks like Casey McMullen currently is holding the top spot at a 55.353.
Yeah, I was sitting there looking, and he doesn't want to relinquish that lead, Jeremy, of that point standing. He wants to start out front and possibly ended up front. So let's see what he can. It looks like he's going to finish it off, I believe, last I checked.
All right, I do apologize about the black screen. You can see Kenny and I currently on the screen. That's about the only thing we can display. There's a little bit of a loading error, I guess, on the producer's end. Whatever type of crash the iRacing is thrown to Mr. Dustin out there. It's giving you the nice, beautiful black screens. But I guess we're going to keep our faces on there until we can bring out some racing, so you're not just staring at a complete black screen. But if we can go down that running order, if you want to kick off the top 10, Mr. Ken.
Actually, I'm going to let you go ahead and do that, Jeremy, because iRacing crashed me as well. So I'm actually coming back into the server. So,
all right, you got it. So I know we don't have it displayed on your screen at the moment, but Casey McMullen has taken the top spot at a 55.353. Second place is going to be Sherwood Williford. Third place in row number 2 is Brandon Elder, and to his outside will be John Adams. There in fifth place is going to be Andrew Palicki, and sixth place will be Brian Bliss. Starting in seventh place is Jeff Langston, and to his outside in eighth will be Simon Magdon. Ninth place will be Stephen Vrooman. In 10th place will be Claude Furland. And 11th place, we have the number 7, Pennzoil Chevrolet of Wayne Grassy. And to his outside in 12th place will be Martin Garreau. 13th place, you're going to find Alex Murphy. 14th place, you're going to find Thomas Ridgway. Starting in 15th, Richie Coy. 16th place will be Mark DeBriel. 17th place will be Sylvain Jolly. 18th will be Chris Stouffer. Bobby Terrell will be starting in 19th. And 20th place will be last week's winner, Nicholas Casey. In 21st, you're going to find Michael Blackner. I think he's making his second start in the truck series here. And to his outside will be Tony Solari. Back in row 13, you're going to find, or row 12 rather, you're going to find Luke Brown. And in 24th place will be Tommy Brandon. 25th place will be Gil Gawk. And then everybody else did not take time. That'll be the following 5 drivers of being 26, Chuck Sweeting, Zach McDaniel, Kevin Rupert, Kenneth Scholes, and Brody Hanna is going to round out the 30 truck lineup here at Talladega.
Yeah, I got in just as you were kind of getting through that top 10, Jeremy. So I'm back on here, and looks like we're still having a little bit of technical difficulties. So we might do a little MRN style to start this one, Jeremy. You might see our faces and just kind of go over like over the radio.
Yeah, I heard that we might be getting really close to bring you some images here. It looks like he's currently loading in. So any minute, you should just randomly see some trucks on the field. But yeah, we're going to do this MRN style essentially until that's. I don't think MRN produces cameras on their broadcasters. So we're just one step above the competition on that end.
I think he's coming back in. So we're just now in turn 3 here. So I think we might be timing this just right because we got, it's helping us too, Jeremy, Talladega with this long front straight here. We're going to gain a little extra time. Hey, look at there.
Starting off with the gyro cam. So if you feel like you're participating in 420, starting with the gyro cam is going to make you feel really trippy right now. So there we go. We got you on a normal TV camera. Casey McMullen, really anticipating this restart here. For me in super speedways, if you're not in first, definitely don't want to be in the mix, especially you don't want to trash an hour and a half, 2 hour race away within 5 minutes. That's just you practice on these setups to get them dialed in and have all that time wasted just because it's a super speedway. Things happen. So we do see our faces finally off that screen, and we're going to see Larry just patiently await these trucks. He is super amped up as well, ready to go.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Yeah, there he goes. He's waving it now. Casey McMullen gets a really good launch off that start. Sherwood Williford on his outside. He's going to get some early help by that number 84 of John Adams. Going to propel him to the lead entering 1.
Yeah, as we see, these guys are still side by side as we're heading into turn 1 and 2. No one's really making any moves for the higher low lane. As we're coming up the speed, they're coming off of 2. Still got Case McMullen on the inside, but Sherwood Wilford's trying to get that high side momentum. He's got the 84 there. John Adams pushing them as they're going to actually make it on by. They're going to have new leaders. We're going to head down into 3.
Looks like Richie Coyne, that 19, going to be dropping down below that apron like I expected. At least one guy to do so. He's going to get himself out of that mix, back to the field. Sherwood Williford gets to the bottom in front of Case McMullen. Currently, he has sole possession of the lead, but don't count out that high line as, these trucks have a pretty good time up there.
You can kind of tell where Sherwood wants to go there. He immediately, as soon as he got going down to the bottom, he probably wants to hold that inside line. And John Adams said, you know what, that's okay. I'll keep this high side going and try and see if he can take over. He's got Brian Bliss right behind him in that awesome-looking new Crunchy Cookie M&M's Toyota that we were speaking of on Monday. Brought it out tonight, as we were mentioning earlier. So that thing is looking really nice. But we still got John Adams there trying to fight that lead, Jeremy.
Yeah, John Adams looking strong early on that top side there. He's going to put a good amount of pressure on at 33 to keep him right where he needs to. But as you guys see, there's actually a pretty decent amount of space between that low line and the upper lane. As we've always talked about this league and, in high standards, they're really respectful out there. And they're not trying to... They know it's lap 2 out of 75. They don't need to side draft the crap out of each other to try to get that edge. So you're going to keep netcode out of the way, and they're just going to keep themselves spaced out and just, run a consistent line on where they're at and, wait until the end before anything gets jumbled up.
And you know who I'm really pulling for tonight, Jeremy, is going to be sitting third in that inside lane there, the 51 of Brandon Elder. We've been talking about him for the last couple of weeks. He's been having great runs in the trucks and in the Cup Series and just having a string of bad luck. I mean, we saw it on Monday. Last Wednesday, it just hasn't been panning out for him like he has hoped. So I'm really pulling for him on this one, see if he can pull out with the top 5 or even maybe fight for the lead here. But so far, so good. Another great qualifying effort by him. He started in 3rd place and still sitting in 5th, but he's 3rd in the inside.
I can tell you that 51 is excited that the short track session this past month basically is over with. I'm sure he's excited to be back on asphalt. And yeah, he's been on a pretty good show. He just needs to get rid of that bad luck streak he's got, and he really wants to prove himself of what he's got here in the last 4 races. Talladega is going to be tricky, but then this next 3 weeks, I expect that 51 to come on strong.
Yeah, I think so too, and he's been showing it. It's just that little streak of bad luck, but he'll get it going. But these guys are still going side by side. I mean, we're talking 15 rows deep, side by side, all the way back. And then we did have a couple, as you mentioned earlier, Richie Coy. We saw him on lap 1. As soon as he came off at 2, he went ahead and just dropped back, and they're sitting a little bit back behind this lead pack, but they're just cruising right now, and they're going to make their way. And yeah, as we see right there on their TV, got a couple of them there that's sitting back there. So Richie will be making his way up. There's only 4 laps completed of 75, plenty of time.
Looks like there's going to be a little 5-truck train all at the back end of that field, just kind of waiting to see what happens with a potential wreck. It's coming up on lap number 5 of 75, 70 to go. You don't need to push any issue, and so these guys are just inside the draft range, so they're able to keep up, but at the same time keep a comfortable distance. So if there is something that goes array, they have time to avoid it and keep their truck clean.
Yeah, and you see this a lot with the super speedways. You have the kind of the guys that's wanting to stay up front the whole time and not really go in the back, and then you have the ones that's kind of like, let's just hang out in the back and we'll make our way to the front as this race continues on, whether it's through cautions or through making moves. And then you kind of got everyone in the middle that's just fighting for their life to be one of those 2 people. So definitely sets up different strategies that's going on here. So we'll see how it all plays out, but they're still side by side, Jeremy. These 2 up front, Sherwood Wilford and John Adams, just no one can really gain an edge over the other one.
No, the lines are so equal, with the amount of trucks in each line. Looks like the outside the trial over there had a little bit extra speed there, allowed Adams to lead that lap pretty comfortably. But then, of course, as draft takes effect, that inside light sucks him back in and says, hey, it's my turn. And so Sherwood got a really good entry into 1 and 2, led through those set of corners, and then back here on the backstretch, that's back to a dead heat.
Yeah, and as you can kind of see there, they're set up in that top groove, and then you got the other bottom groove going down the backstretch there, and spread out a whole groove incessantly. And then you see them in the turn, they kind of close it in a little bit, but they're keeping enough space between each other. They know it's early in the race, they want to keep these trucks clean and not have any damage. Because unlike the last couple of weeks, if you had a couple fenders dinged in and some damage, you could ride around. But you have that happen here, and your day is good but done. So they're going to try and keep it clean as they can. And as this race ticks on, they'll get closer and closer. But right now, they're just keeping it nice and clean and safe, and just kind of riding.
Yeah, there's no tire strategy. There's probably not going to be much fuel strategy, and you just gotta let those laps tick away, tick, tick, tick. Like you don't need to put the pressure on early. So unless you want to be up on that front pack, that's probably where the safest is going to be. Is if you're first or second there, depending on which line you're in. But if you're second in the row, third row, fourth row, that's where you have to start questioning whether this is the right position to be in. Do you have the right people around you? So the biggest strategy is that mental game, that mental focus. Speaking of focus, if they had a nerd focus in their center console, I think they would be even more focused if they're allowed to drink. So once again, quick shout out to nerdfocus.com. Super Nerd at checkout, 10% off their 2 flavors they currently have on their website. But yeah, going back to that, the mental focus has got to be strong with these guys. It's easy to get tired running basically in a straight line for 200 miles, right? So you gotta know where your partners are at. You gotta know when you gotta pit, because you can't pit by yourself. You have to do it with trucks if you want to maintain in the top spot, or at least potentially win the race. And you have to bring your partners, and you got to make friends out there. You can't just run from early on it, because they're not going to follow you in.
Yeah, and you want to know who's riding with you, who you can be comfortable with. And these guys have been racing with each other for a while. Yes, there are some rookies in here, but they've raced with them in other series and Daytonas and things like that. So they kind of know a little idea of who they want and who they want to kind of ride with. But you never, there's always that don't push the pusher as well, because then that causes it. So, like you said, pretty much unless you're the top 2, unless you get wrecked, you're pretty safe. Other than that, it can be all mayhem. But it's still close battles here, Jeremy. It's just they're literally just running identical. There's no one making any moves. You kind of see in the back of this little pack here, those are the only trucks really kind of shuffling around for position. They're just going back and forth, high side, low side. They're probably just sitting back there having a little bit of fun. But we've already completed 9 laps, coming up on 9 laps completed here, and it's just been side by side, really clean racing this whole time. No one's really pushing or making the issue or anything like that. So
yeah, speaking of keeping it clean and whatnot, since these guys have done this now for 10 laps and not had any issues, I think it's a really awesome time to kick it over to the Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels, aka Nerd. We're going to bring you all the sounds of super speedway action in these trucks. So be with you guys in just a few short minutes. guys, welcome back to the broadcast coverage. That was Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels, aka Nerd. No other way to do that than with the Nerditudes on Nerd TV. We're just a bunch of nerds out here, like to call it as you see it. A couple shout outs since we went over to the Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels. We got Yvonne going Team Magden, saying good luck to Rumble Racing, especially to that 46 truck being Simon Magden. And then we have some fans that are passing by saying they wish the guys the best of luck. And then, of course, as always, Mrs. Logston over there in the chat saying that stash, though, can't forget her with her daily comments of complimenting Mr. Pushibian Nick Stash over there.
It's just a little bit right here for her.
Right there. Yeah. And just keeps getting more full and full as the days pass by. When are you going to clean up that beard area, though, to fully just bring that into the spotlight?
I'm debating on if I should do it before the future sister-in-law's wedding or after. So it just depends on if I feel like showing this up at the wedding or not. I might bring it out for the season finale. That's right afterwards.
Okay, do it for that reason, because you don't want to be the spotlight in somebody else's wedding. That doesn't sound like a great time. But as we're talking about that, really, Casey McMullen has found himself in front of Sherwood Williford. They maintained the bottom spot. They just kind of did a little switcheroo, so that number 71 is now leading the inside pack, and on the outside is still that number 84 of John Adams. But it looks like that inside line is just a little bit stronger when Casey's leading the way.
Yeah, they've actually pulled a little bit. As we saw, too, there, they kind of got 2 or 3 truck links, too, as we were doing the Nerd Racing as well, and that's when Casey kind of got around him. So maybe Casey's got that stronger truck to be more of a puller, not a pusher, and kind of reverse on the Sherwood-Wilford side as well. But these guys are still side by side. I mean, like I said earlier, I think there's about 12, 13 rows deep of side-by-side racing, and they're just keeping it through. And like I said, just a couple swap there from Casey and Sherwood there. Other than that, still keeping a single file and, side-by-side 2 wide.
And just like the real deal, this is an open setup race. The truck series on Wednesdays and the Cup cars on Monday. So what I mean by that is some setups might be better for pushing and some might be better for leading. In this case, they're swapping back and forth. You see John Adams take to the inside on that bottom lane, and it's going to allow that crunchy cookie 18 Brian Bliss to get some laps left, and he dips down to the bottom as we see a little bit of a momentum shift as the inside's picked up a lot more trucks on that top. So this could be, maybe a pit strategy soon in the wake. I'm not too sure, but right now it looks like a lot of trucks are coming down to that bottom.
Yeah, no one wants to be leading that high side. Everyone, as soon as they get, and it's not, as soon as they get an opportunity, they're coming down to it. So they don't even drag it out a little bit. They're just like instantly going. But as we just had that shout out there, 46 of Simon Magden, that's going to put him in that lead truck on the outside lane. And as you see, he's getting a big run here on the outside. He's got 43 right behind him, giving him a push of Claude Furlan. So see what they can do as John Adams actually jumps up to the high side. John Adams is going to try to take this lead from Brian Bliss, but he's going to be stuck in the middle, Jeremy. That's going to put John Adams back. So we're going to have a little shake-up here. We'll see how he falls back through his pack.
Simon Magden said, nope, I want this lead, and so I went to the outside, made it 3 wide temporarily, and he dips it down below the 8. I'm surprised he was able to still clear the 18 with him in the 43 only for a short period of time, had enough speed to still clear him. And Yvonne's probably going crazy for Team Magden, as looks like he's going to be leading lap number 19.
Yeah, and that was a good move for John Adams as well. So Simon Magden came down, kind of slowed everyone up there on the inside lane. They had to check up for him, and that was able for John Adams to get in there and only lost a couple spots. He's sitting third back in that outside lane, but it's just the same way as everyone else on that kind of high side, Jeremy. As soon as he got an opportunity, he dipped it down on that low side to take that lead. And yeah, the low side's building all the momentum right now with more trucks, but that high side's still powering strong though as they're coming off the corners there. Now we see Claude Furlan going for a little fight for the lead, so we'll see what he does once he gets about a car length ahead.
These trucks are essentially bricks punching a huge hole in the air, allowing the high side to keep up even though they have less trucks. That side draft is so strong it doesn't matter. So we're going back to 3 wide action here at second row back. John Adams in the middle, got Casey McMullen on the bottom, and then you got one of the Rumble Racing trucks there on the high side being Martin Garreau. So a little bit of 3 wide action here. I think Martin's trying to get up there with his teammate to try to get some laps, but he's got no friends as he's going to start falling back in.
Yeah, he was trying to see if he can hold it out for as long and see if he can squeeze in, but he just can't find an opportunity, and he doesn't want to force the issue and kind of pinch anybody down and cause a wreck. So he's unfortunately going to be stuck up there on the high side, and I don't think he's going to find a spot until the end of this line here. So unfortunate for him, but still battling back up front. You got the 43 of Claude Furlan that's actually making his way, trying to get that pass on the outside again. So we'll see if he can get enough momentum and a good push here from John Adams as they're heading into turn 3. See if he can complete as they're coming off of 4.
He ran pretty good at Daytona, and I was pretty impressed that he was able to push that Simon Magnan into the lead there all by himself, essentially on that backstretch going 3 wide to clear out Adams. So that truck looked pretty strong with that move there. So I have a little bit of a high expectation to see what he can do on this top side. He just needs that number 3 truck behind Adams to suck in a little bit closer, because we know the closer your vehicle gets in these drafts, that kind of just only helps your speed out. So they're leaving a little too much space, and it's not allowing that 43 to make that potential run up there to lead a lap.
Yeah, and as we saw there on Nerd TV too, I was watching the 50 there. Martin Grove we saw was stuck on the outside, and he was able to side draft his way up. We got him right here on Nerd TV. He was able to side draft his way up and keep up there and actually get around 2 other trucks. And I think he might have found something with that too, Jeremy. He's not following in line. He's maybe trying to use a little bit of side draft. He was able to squeeze back in line with these guys, but no, well, maybe he might be falling back. He might be trying something new, but for a moment there, he was using that side draft momentum, and that might have cost him trying to push it a little bit further.
Pretty impressive when you're all by yourself and you can run the same speed as the guys behind, or just to the inside of you, that have 15 trucks in that line. So that setup is doing something right. He just needs to find a good run here, whether it be on the bottom or the mid, to kind of move up into that front section of the pack. If he can do that, then Rumble Racing might be showing off some pretty good speed overall. We see 2 other trucks join him on the top side, so we're gonna have some 3 wide action here mid pack, 3 rows deep, I think, after row 5, 6, and 7 really. So business is definitely picking up here.
Yeah, it is. And like you said, he's picked him up some partners, and he's still keeping up. I've kind of been watching him. He's been sitting side by side with the 86 of Nicholas Casey and the 88 of Mark Dubril, and he's kind of been going back and forth with them. Fell all the way back to about Tony Solari, and now he's moved his way up. So as we're seeing 3 wide here through basically that whole lap with everyone jumping up on the outside. He's got, I believe that's Chuck Sweeting that jumped up there. Yeah, we got him on board here on Nerd TV, and we know how Chuck's been of late, so that's someone that you might want behind you pushing you as well. As we're heading in the turn 1 and 2 here, 3 wide still between these, about 3 rows deep with 3 wide, and still a battle for the lead as well. So we got some action heating up.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting's a great partner to have no matter what the situation is, and the outside just keeps getting thinner and thinner as the trucks on the bottom keep growing in numbers. But that 84 John Adams is doing a hell of a job pushing Claude Furlan for 2 consecutive lap sled, and Claude said, you know what, that's enough. I'm going to drop in front of Simon and kind of claim the top spot for myself for a moment. But that third line up against that wall, led by that black number 3 at Talladega, that line could be picking up some steam for a high run push here.
Yeah, and when Claude Furlan go down, that kind of left John Adams by himself up there, and the 88 of Mark Gabriel came up right behind him to give him a little bit of help. But with those about 4 or 5 trucks up on that high side and that top groove, that's going to take a little bit of that momentum bound. But, you got Gil Gawk there, who I won't be surprised if we see Chuck Sweeting kind of swing down there and follow behind Gil Gawk, because those are 2 teammates there in the 85 and 75. We see the 55 get a little bit sideways there coming off the corner. But keep an eye on those 2, Jeremy, the Chuck Sweeting and Gil Gawk, to hook up and make a charge to the front.
Yeah, it looked like that number 50 of Martin Garreau just got really out of shape there on the exit of turn number 2. It cost him some speed and fell back a few spots. Currently sitting right around 11th or 12th, it looks like. And but he's in the draft. He's going to suck back up and be no problem. You see the 11 of Tony Solari making a pit stop all by himself.
Where's his teammates?
Just gets down to speed, and there they are. They pop up on our screen late. But it looks like Fury Motorsports is taking the early pit stops on lap number 24. This is going to lead the way for green flag stops.
I was just thinking, where's Richie Coy and Brody Hand at? We know they've been sitting back there, and as soon as you saw that 11 of Tony Solari, you knew his teammates weren't too far behind. That's a good strategy for them. They're going to link those 3 together, and that's going to be a power move with those 3 when they link up, because, like I mentioned last year, Richie, being a rookie in the series, was able to get the win with Brody pushing them, and He needs to get going there off a pit road, as he's going to have to slow down a little bit. So that might cost him a little bit of time here, Jeremy. So we'll see where they kind of cycle through. But that means pit stops are going to be starting. So let's see who's going to be coming down next.
Yeah, they're going to have pit stops here in the next lap or so for them to not really lose much time.
There's more jumping off right here.
As you see, strength in numbers, really, you have to have a good amount of friends with you to really keep up some speed. Yeah, we see 3 more trucks, the 21 there, Jeff Langston leading this little 3-truck pack here. Followed in with the 00 as well as, it looks like, the 32. So 3 more trucks in. Not necessarily teammates this time around, but I guess they found some friends out there to work with.
Yeah, and the 21 came in. We saw his tires sliding through, so I'm going to see how he's going to do on that, and see if he kind of speeding on pit road or not. Hopefully he gets away with it. We'll still keep an eye on that. And looking ahead to 2, we already had Brody Hand and Richie Coy hooking up, and Tony Solari actually was running up ahead. So it looks like Brody slowed up for Richie because that's a smart move for them. He'll catch up to Tony, but that is going to slow him up a little bit on that. How much of a difference? And yeah, he was coming in hot right there.
Yeah, he drove that thing in super deep, and going off my super slow-mo replay that I have accessibility to, his truck cut out right off the line, but I think he was down in speed and time. I think he might have been safe, but I guess we'll tell him the next lap or 2 what he does on the track. But that's the only 2 groups of 3s that's been pitting. Everybody else, I do believe, has stayed out. So these Fury Motorsport trucks are entering turn number 3 right now. The lead pack is in the middle of the backstretch. So, in a couple more laps, they're probably going to get gobbled up here and go 1 lap down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this Fury Motorsports, you got Richie Coy and Brody Hanno going around. Tony Solari, who's just going to fall right in line there with Richie Coy. Going to have that 3-man pack. They're going to try and run down the other pit stop, but they're still right ahead as we're going to see some other ones possibly dip down here. I'm not seeing any takers right now. Nope, we're still going to be running out there. So it's good old pack here still. That's with Claude Furman leading the way.
Yeah, Claude's doing an excellent job leading that inside line right now as they're just kind of waiting, I guess. See how much they can extend that fuel mileage out. We're lap 28 of 75. So if they have to pit here in the next few laps, it's still going to be another stop before they can go green the rest of the way to the checkered flag. So it looks like if there's no cautions, 2-stop strategy will be into effect. But it looks like that 3-truck pack of Fury Motorsports they're putting on impressive lap time just being in a 3-truck section here. I thought they would have been maybe passed up by now, but they're holding their own pretty good.
Yeah, they are. They're kind of pulling good numbers there. And as I'm watching this main pack, you have the 75 of Chuck Sweeting that came up right behind his teammate Gil Gawk and gained quite a bit of ground there. I think he passed about 4 of the 5 trucks there as he was closing in right behind his teammates. So what a great time to get right behind him. His pit stops are going to be taking it away. But I'm waiting to see who's going to make this first move, Jeremy. We still got about 20 trucks, 23 maybe, 20, at least 20 trucks here in this main pack. So I'm waiting to see who's going to be the next group that's going to dip off, because we see some of these teammates. You have like the 2 leaders of the inside leader and the outside leader. Those are 2 teammates. So they're going to try to make their way down to come in together. There's going to be a lot of jostling around. So, I'm interested to see what happens here.
Yeah, I expect maybe more guys to be on the bottom, but this top line of about 6 trucks they're still battling. They're still wanting to move up to the front, so I don't see them pitting in the next couple laps just because of how they're positioned on the track. No takers this time around as well, so makes me curious of why Fury Motorsports dipped down so early, 5 laps ago, when these guys can hold out here for this much longer. So maybe just trying to stay out of trouble and run their own little pace here.
Yeah, that's possibility as far as maybe trying to catch a caution or anything like that on these pit stops and kind of jump ahead of everybody. But we'll see where it falls out. So it'll be an interesting setup, and kind of looking to see how long these guys can stretch it as well on the fuel mileage and see what the difference is between what Fury Motorsports did and what some of these other trucks are going to do. So different strategies already come into play, Jeremy, and we're just a quarter of the way, or just over a quarter of the way through here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I expected some different strategies for sure. They're definitely not letting me down. I was going over the lap times here.
Got a couple coming on pit road.
A couple coming down pit road this time. It looks like the lap times are much faster in the big pack still, but
9 looks like 9 on pit road, I believe, coming right now. So that's a good chunk of that lead pack that just came down. That broke that lead pack up into 2 separate packs too, as well. Yeah,
it looks like you are correct on that number. 9 trucks coming down pit road right now. come to the service, you see Brian Bliss, John Adams, Casey McMullen, Sherwood Williford, Thomas Ridgway. Some of the fast guys that were leading the pack are all together. Looks like everyone had a clean entrance into their stall, and they should be able to exit out no problem.
I think we're going to see another one too as well, because you have the 88 there. Mark is kind of falling back. It has no help on the high side. Everyone's on the low side. I think I hear that 35 is pitting this lap. We see the two teammates there, the 85 and the 75. They're down together on the low side. Here comes one of them. That's going to leave the and I don't know if the 88 was going to come down or not, but he will swerve there. He might come down with his teammates. But we got another group here, Jeremy. Looks like about another 9 trucks, I believe, coming down pit road.
Yeah, I think I'm counting actually 10, but close
10,
enough. Yep. And yeah, that's 2 big packs, and we got just a little bit left before everything cycles through. They're on lap number 31 of scheduled 75 this evening. So they're definitely going to have to come in at least one more time before this thing's all said and done. It will be a 2-stop strategy, which it always impresses me, especially at a super speedway, that they're able to have very little amount of cautions here at FTSR. And even going through pit stops, everything's been looking clean on their entries.
Yeah, and Mark Dubreuil, he wasn't able to get down with his teammates, Sylvain Jolly and Claude Furr, when they came down, and he's going to be coming down with the 75 and the 85 here of Chuck Sweeting and Gil Gawk, which is not a bad combo to come down with. And you got going to be another one there. I believe that's Bobby Terrell as well. That's going to be coming down. So that's not a bad group. So he'll get back up with his teammates. Have some good drivers to catch back up with them. So we'll see what this all plays out, because I think this is the last group to come down on pit road.
Truck heavy into the inside wall of turn number 2, Sylvain Jolly in that number 08 Toyota Tundra. Just, hit the apron transition, got into the grass, couldn't keep it straight, spun out and hit the inside wall of turn number 2, which, that wall never sees any action like that early into the exit. So, that's basically going to end his night, with that front end damage plus being out of the draft. So just a simple mistake like that, as you see here on the Nerd TV replay, he just, getting everything out of it, bumps that little apron transition, and that's all it was. He's trying to, dirt track it, which grass is a lot harder to drive on than dirt. And he just right there gets back on that asphalt, and that's where it really spins out, is actually when the asphalt came back into play. So that definitely put a huge amount of damage on the nose of that truck.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We were just talking about him as far as breaking up with the teammates, and that's going to put that situation with the 88 and the 43 there a little different, because now they're definitely going to be separated with not having any teammates, those two. So, and no caution out of that either, Jeremy. So, that's unfortunate for Sylvain Jolly, because I believe he's still going to be out here running around trying to make some laps, but heavy damage to that front, as we saw. And Mark Dubreuil is out here all on his lonesome as well. So that's, big impact here for that team to have all that kind of unfold here in the last couple of laps.
And Mark Dubreuil, too, when he was exiting pit road, he actually did the same thing his teammate did, Sylvain Jolly. Apron transition in turn 1 got him, and it spun him out basically into the grass. So he had to slow down and correct that thing, and that's why he's outside that draft all by his lonesome. So issues going on for this team right now. Yeah,
this is not what they were wanting, and now they're in desperate need of a caution, which if we see anything like what's been going on tonight, it's going to be, hard to come by. But we're seeing here, Jeremy, we got a couple of different groups of racing. We got a couple of single file here trying to run down. We got 2 groups. One's running single file trying to catch the first group, and the first group's up here racing side by side. And I believe leading the way, is that the 21, I want to say? Yeah, Jeff Langston. We thought maybe he might have had a speeding penalty coming down, but he's in that top side with the 00 of Steven Verman right behind him.
Yeah, he beat the system. It looked like it was really close anyways, but excellent pit stop, and it's put him in a really good spot. And yeah, your leader right now, that number 23, which started dead last, started 30th, now leading the way on lap number 35 of 75. So as, normal super speed racing goes, it does not matter where you start.
That was a great strategy, too. We were wondering, they came in about 5 laps earlier than some of these other trucks, 7, 8 laps. Once they all cycled through, and they were able to bunch up those 3 trucks and just put down some good lap times, and here they are leading the way. So we'll see where it kind of pans out as far as the fuel mileage goes in the stops. I believe it's going to be 3 anyway, so this could play in their favor, Jeremy, but great strategy by these guys, and they're probably just going to try and stay up front the rest of the way if they can.
Yeah, excellent strategy, and unlike these other guys who've been shifting positions, I expect them to be nose to tail all the way through until the next set of pit stops. So that, that could make that inside line even more dominant as you see less position shifted. And right now they're holding themselves pretty good over that 21 of Jeff Langston. You got Steven Drummond on his tail end, trying to get all that speed out of that 21 to maybe get the advantage over the number 23. But right now it's just that 23, 19, 11 system right now. And of course, John Adams, who pushes really well, as we've learned so far early on. It's a pretty dominant top 4 on the bottom.
Yeah, it's hard to beat team orders because I'm sure it's just stay together. And then, on lap 75, when they're coming around, then we might see some change for position if we have any battles. But this Fury Motorsports team works pretty well together. So I could even see them just keeping it all together, 3 wide or 3 on the bottom, and not even pushing the issue and just being content with running the way they are or wherever they might fall. But they're going to be hard to beat down here, especially running that inside line.
Yeah, they have one more set of pit stops to go through. They know this. So why try to pass or do anything dumb, right? When you can just be nose to tail all the way through with your teammates, and then race it out, after the pit stops are over. To me, that'd be the logical thing to do, and I don't see them even trying to force the issue anyway. Tony Slurry's kind of backing up a little bit. You definitely don't want, like you said earlier on in this race, you don't want to push the pusher. That's where accidents happen. Sometimes you get that huge run. It's hard not to say, hey, I'm going to give you a nudge. Let's go fast. But, you got to play that patient card. And if you bump someone the wrong way and it bumps somebody else, you really don't want to be that person that causes that kind of wreck.
No, especially if it's, towards the front, because then you have, if you're right now, I don't think we have, but just one car looks like Angel Cookie 1 lap down. And then, unfortunate incident with Sylvain and Mark there a little bit back. So 27 this lead pack. And if you have something like that, if you're pushing the pusher and you have an incident, you have a chance to take out all, a good chunk of 27. Starting up in the front, so definitely don't want to do that. So, and Tony's kind of playing that game too. Don't push the pusher, but also don't be too far back to where you're gonna have someone kind of sneaking on that inside lane. It looks like we got a little mishap here with one of Kevin Rupert and the 91 of Kenneth Schultz.
Yeah, they're doing a little bit of strategy. I think they dipped down to the apron to kind of let everyone by, and they're just gonna ride solo here for a little bit. They pitted together. They're working well together. They're doing their thing. They got their own strategy.
Teammates, I believe, right?
Absolutely, yes. So they are definitely on that personalized strategy that they've came up with. That's why you see it. And going back to the front here, we got some 3-wide action. John Adams is leading the way in that middle line. Jeff Langston still on the top, and 23, 19, 11 Train are going to be on the bottom. Still 3x3 exiting turn number 2.
And you mentioned that 84 there, John Adams being strong. As we see Sylvain Jolly going on the inside. Classy move there, doesn't want to get in the way of these leaders. But as you mentioned, that 84, John Adams was sitting on the inside 4th in line there, and now he's pushed up in the inside with Brian. Close call between Casey McMullen and Brian Bush there. Brian Bush, though, he's been a good pusher all day as well. So tough little, these 6 trucks really battling out are kind of been the power of the race so far.
Yeah, they really have been up top 5 the entire race essentially. So they've definitely shown how fast that truck is, and even the 18 behind them also running pretty solid lap times this entire race. We see that 13 there of Chris Stouffer. Didn't show up last week. He's trying to make some momentum up tonight, and this is the first time he's really seen himself inside the top 5.
Yeah, can't miss that chrome truck there as you see him sitting 4th in line on the inside lane right in front of the 46 of Simon Magin, who was also showing a strong truck. So a little bit of shift here, and it's kind of that Fury Motorsports that's kind of jumped up there and changed a few things, and they're still holding strong even with that 3 wide, which was a nice battle. John Adams, you see, trying to make a run here. He's going to sit here and get a little bit of momentum on that high side, see if he can make a run. But, Casey McMullen's going to see if he can give him a push here, and we got a car almost into the wall back there as well. That might be the 21, I believe. Yeah, that was the 21 of Jeff Langston, who was just up at the front just a few moments ago.
Yeah, just trying to do everything. And that third line just really just died out, and that truck fell back quite a bit, and then had to drop back in line there behind. It looks like Chuck Sweeting possibly. So it's just, when you run that third line, we saw a couple trucks able to maintain, but for the most part, you got to have those friends. And he did not, so him and the 00, lost, 20 positions essentially and fell back all the way there. Now they have to kind of regroup and just maybe hang out until the next set of green flag stops. Yeah,
and I'm intrigued to see kind of where this Fury Motorsports is going to go. If they're going to kind of run the same amount of laps that they ran on the first run, come on out at the same time. But at that same instance, you had the 11 of Tony Sawyer, who's up there a little bit ahead of these guys, and when they came down, they kind of probably surprised some people. So it'll be interesting to see when they come down this time if anyone else follows, or if they're going to just kind of keep the same strategy they had going.
I mean, at this point, I think they're going to be just content with what they're doing right now, but it's going to force these guys into the passing positions, like we saw the 3-wide just a few short laps ago, where they know where the dominant pack is at, and so now they have to kind of figure out how do we do this. But we see John Adams, Case McMullen, the 18 now. They're still nose to tail on that top side with no one on their top. They have a pretty solid chance to maybe show what they're worth as they're getting a little closer on that side draft. And you're going to see him on the exit of turn number 4 here. I'm getting pretty good launch on that 23. And let's see if that 84 can clear him for to lead a lap.
I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing that side draft there get a little closer, lap by lap, testing the limits as these laps are starting to wind down, because we're over halfway through this race, Jeremy. As we see so far, it's kind of, we talked on the pre-race, it's going to either be Talladega where you're going to have some wrecks, or you're going to kind of clean through it, and Full Throttle Simulation is full of clean races and drivers, so not surprised to see this thing go green. So you're going to have to start testing the limits, seeing how far you can kind of go lap by lap and gain some ground. That one here looks like it kind of going on the inside of that yellow line, might be falling back there. I have to check and see who that is falling back in line, but we're going to see the limits start getting pushed here, Jeremy, more and more.
Yeah, it's that number 10 of Luke Brown, second race for him in this Sim Racing Points Truck Series. But since you guys are just past halfway, we're going to actually do a quick commercial break for everyone to give you guys a visual thank you to all the sponsors that allow us to do this over at Nerditude. So we'll be back with you in just a few short minutes as we go side by side.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
full screen coverage of the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. We are currently on lap number 48 of scheduled 75 this evening. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Anik Magden, who also was on Team Magden, of course. I'm assuming just because of the last name or some sort of family member. So, Mr. Magden, Simon, number 46, you got a little cheerleading squad pulling for you. You got a little bit of work to do. You're still inside that top 10, but they would like to see you back in that top spot. You just have to get around that 3-truck tandem on the bottom of Fury Motorsports. And Ken, speaking of which, we were just talking about it amongst ourselves just a minute ago. I think if the strategy is going to play correctly, we might see them come down for their final green flag stop this time by.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's this time or even within the next 2 laps, if they keep on to that same strategy as we were talking about. And, let's see if they kind of shock the field a little bit here and just I don't know if it'd be shocking, but they just come on down and see if anyone else follows with them. But, yeah, Simon Magden, though, if they come down, he'll appreciate that because that'll put him back in that second spot there on the inside lane, which is the preferred lane to be in as of late. So definitely got some people rooting for him tonight.
Yeah, did you hear that John Adams is going to actually come down with his teammate? Yeah, him and his teammate both cut that real close. And now here we go. The big one's going to start to assume. It's going to bring in Richie Coy, his teammate Casey McMullen, and quite a few other trucks as they make a late jump to the inside line. It's going to wad up the huge field, and it's going to be the first caution of this evening entering lap number 50.
And, I'm surprised it did not take out more. It took out a good amount, but I was expecting a lot more trucks to be wadded up in that as, Richie Coy took a hard impact, put him up on basically on all 4 tires up against the wall there. We see here on Nerd TV what exactly happened.
It just got tagged there in the rear end, it looks like. And going back on my angles show, Casey McMullen had him cleared, no problem. He had the position, and then the 23 just got to the back bumper afterwards, and whatever you just watched after that ensued. I think there's about 9 or 10 trucks I've seen that had some type of contact, so a lot of repairs going to be happening during this caution break.
Yeah, and that was a great move there. Both of them making that push to John Adams and Casey McMullen. As you see here on their TV, they're just going to get a great run, come right on down. And Brody Hanna, I don't know if there was maybe a little checkup by Casey, and Brody wouldn't expect it, but it gave him just a little push, and Brody got by, but as you see right there, Richie Coy up on 2 wheels. Tony Solari, I think he might have got into it a little bit, and Brian Bliss, as you see on that side, I don't think he got into anything at all.
Yeah, I was actually going over that telemetry after you just said about maybe there was a slight checkup, and that replay on the nose of the Brody Hand on that 23. It definitely confirmed he was doing 187, and then he checked up to 184 before he got that contact by the 23. So there's a little 3-mile-an-hour difference, and that's all it took for these guys to wad him up.
And as we see here, Tony Sawyer got in the back of Richie Coy, and he went up to the high side, taking out the 86, who I believe said he had a meatball. We see the 42 there. That was your points leader just a couple of weeks ago, Jeremy. And then just had a string of bad luck there by Zach McDaniel, and this is just adding to it. And 46, though, Simon Magden, I think he got by with no issues, didn't have any contact.
Yeah, Case McMullen, your points leader with 4 races left. Gonna be having some heavy damages fixed on pit road. I think Bobby Terrell was able to escape, maybe just some slight fender damage on his left front nose area from Case McMullen sliding down, and a little bit of contact, I think, with one other truck. But yeah, so Bobby Terrell, I think, is going to be okay. It's going to be a huge points day for Case McMullen. It's going to bring everybody right to his front, or right to his bumper, as far as being in points position. So this is going to bring the next 3 races into just a little bit of a shootout here, as everyone's just so close. You see another angle here from this wreck. Simon Magden on the bottom. His cheerleading squad looks like it worked for him as he was able to avoid everything. Excellent driving by hugging that grass line and keeping that thing clean.
Yeah, and this is going to shake up some other stuff too, Jeremy. You got to think we're going to have some team here that are, like Brody Hanna. He got through no problem, but we saw Tony Sawyer get in the back of his teammate Richie Coy, and Richie Coy had hard damage. He's still on pit road getting that fixed. We saw Tony Sawyer getting some repairs, so that's going to kind of break up that team a little bit. You got the 85 and the 75 Gilgok and Chuck Sweeting. Those two have been hooking up pretty well. So we got a few teammates that are still out here together, and we got a few that aren't so much. So I believe that's going to definitely come into a factor.
Absolutely, and like I said, it's going to be a huge shakeup on the points. And speaking of points, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Sim Racing Points, the official series sponsor for these truck series every Wednesday night for you guys. Super easy to use software, allows for customized full widgets on your web page, just everything an admin can dream of as far as keeping everything organized and looking good on your website. So you're going to go to simracingpoints.com. You're going to look at their price plans and see exactly what fits your league's needs. But I tell you what, that software is quite clean, easy to use, and you definitely need to give it a try if you're an admin looking for something to protect your points. But as I end that, it looks like we might be able to bring in someone here that might know a thing or two about Talladega before they go back to green. They got one lap before they go. I'm going to try to bring in your race leader, John Adams, to get a quick word. And John Adams, this is Jeremy from the Nerd TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
We're doing great up here, man. I know we're about to go green flag. I won't keep you long, but you're doing an excellent job with that pushing, and then your truck actually looks like it leads quite well. What's your thoughts and feelings about this following 23 laps?
This is kind of a crapshoot race anyways. If you're on the bottom or top, it doesn't really matter. It's all about who's pushing you. And I just had my teammate Casey McCullen there. He got wrecked basically, so that's that hurts me, man, because I helped him win the race last night in the ARCA series we had. So I was hoping he was going to be here for the end, but he's not. But I got the rest of my Blackwater Motorsports teammates with here, so I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. But you know how Talladega goes. It's a luck of the draw, man.
It really is. You just gotta pick and choose your right lines, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you in the next 23 laps in the podium spot. But good luck, man. We're gonna move you back over.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. That was your race leader, John Adams. Appreciate you for allowing us to talk to you during some racing action. Wouldn't do that to you on green flag action, of course, at a super speed. That'd just be complete nonsense. But with these long caution laps, Kenny, we were able to do something like that for him.
Yeah, that's pretty fun to do. And we've talked about possibly getting someone up here that's in the race doing it. That'd be pretty exciting as well, jumping in there. And at Talladega it might be a little hectic, but that'd be a fun thing. But John has been on a tear tonight, Jeremy. He's no matter if he's high side or low side, he's been tearing it up. But we got 3 strong trucks here. We got John Adams starting on the inside, and Simon Magin, he's going to be on that outside, so he's going to have his squad rooting him on.
Yeah, as we're about to go green flag, and that squad at 46, he's got a good amount of momentum on his side from his family over there. See if he can maybe take over that top spot once again to potentially win this thing. We got 23 laps to figure out exactly who's going to be able to do that. Green flag is back out. John Adams leading the way in that 46. Has some nice, easy help there from the 13 entering turn number 1. We might see a lead change here off the 2.
Yeah, you see Simon Magin there on the outside trying to get that momentum with the 13 of Stouffer right behind him. But we know how strong Brody Hanna's truck is, and John Adams, who's been up there all night. So those two up on the bottom are going to be pretty close. But you see Wayne Grassie's making his way up into this top 5, Jeremy.
Yeah, Wayne Grassie's been one of those trucks that have been just hanging back, not really doing too much. But now he is officially inside the top 5 as he gets around the number 18 on that bottom lane there with the 23 and 84 leading the way for him. It's good to see that bright yellow machine out there putting some work in, and that high side's kind of falling back just a little early, but let's see if they can maybe make a push here on the front stretch. Yeah,
the inside is kind of this last half of the race here, I believe, has been having the better runs, and you see a little bit there with jostling around between Christopher and Wayne Grassie on the inside there. High side actually getting a little bit of momentum here, Jeremy. We'll see if when he gets the clearways, we've seen all night, as soon as they get a clear on the inside, they make it down, but nope, looks like they're going to keep the 84 of John Adams, going to pull a veil.
That's going to hurt the outside momentum there as Simon decided to test the waters on that inside line. He ducked halfway down, came back up, and that just killed the speed momentum on the top. It's going to allow the 84 and 23 to fully clear the 46 temporarily. Looks like they're going to hold the bottom lane there, which is, like you said multiple times, this is the preferred lane for the most part of this race. Let's see if they can get that momentum reshifted back to the top and maybe get that 46 back up there side by side with that 84 as they're coming up to lap number 55.
Yeah, and these guys, they definitely have the car that's, that can handle it. And I'm kind of hearing a little bit of race chatter too going on. It looks like the 35 might have a little bit of damage because he's not able to really lead. He's more of getting pulled, so I think the 4 Barbatrell is going to get around him. And speaking of Barbatrell, he's, starting back there. I think he was in 20th this last time around, so I'm not sure if he had any damage from that last wreck or not, Jeremy, but he's falling back, and that's something he does not need right now.
No, definitely does not need that at all. And we're coming out just 20 laps is not a lot of time to get where you need to be at Talladega. So I see a little bit of looks like a little blink there by 18. He's good to go. What I'm really noticing, Kenny, is that 13 Christopher in that tri-oval. I think it might be hurting the top line, but as soon as he leaves the tri-oval, essentially, that truck likes to wobble high then back low. Let's see if he does it for 3 straight laps. I'm not sure if just setup or what, but he's able to keep a little bit there. Not as much as the first couple laps I noticed it, but since he's able to keep it to the back bumper of the 46, let's see if that actually moves that high line just a little bit closer to maybe taking over.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I think, the first time I went, because Wayne Grassley I think, noticed it as well. He kind of headed down low. So it might be something like you mentioned with the setup, but that kept it a little bit, kept it straighter this time, and you can definitely tell it paid off as the momentum's coming down here. And we'll see if they're heading to 3 and 4, if he can hold it strong and get around that strong 84 truck of John Adams.
Yeah, 84 has just been so dominant. I know he lost his teammate there in that wreck, so he's kind of a lone ranger. For the most part, we're not sure if he has any teammates. Simon Magnan actually shifted high a little bit. 13 thought about it, took back behind him, but it looks like it didn't really kill the momentum that time, as the 46 is actually going to lead this lap number 57 of 75. And
so, like we've seen all night, as soon as he got a chance to get on the inside, Simon Magnan made his way down to that inside, which is not a bad call to do right now with John Adams in that 84. But John Adams is going to make it to the high side, Jeremy. He's going to try to take that tops point as he jumps up to the outside. You can tell from that interview we had, he's high side or low side, he's going to want to lead this race.
Yeah, he got passed one time by the 46, and that was enough said. So he went to the top side, saw that speed, comes back down the 46, and regained his throne that he's had this back half of this race.
That is a strong truck. I mean, look at that. He just, within the straightaway there, just was able to get the momentum back and went around him on the outside of 3 and made the pass before they came out of 4. That setup that he has in that truck right now is very dominant, as he's going to still come around and he's going to lead this lap this time by.
Yeah, really strong, impressive stuff here. Simon recognizes that, and it's really killed that outside. You see Brody Hanna, also one of the Lone Rangers, as 2 of his teammates got taken out of that in that wreck there. So, him running solo up front, he's got to find some new partners, and maybe the 13 of Christopher, maybe that's the guy. We're going to find out. Simon Magnan shoots up to the top real quick, and it gets really dicey here as Brody Hanna gets shifted back to being only the truck on the 3rd line. Maybe it looks like the 22 of Michael Blackner maybe be able to help him, but right now Simon Magnan's going to cut back down to the bottom of John Adams and regain the lead.
Yeah, and you can tell Brody Hanna did not want to lose that momentum that he had, and he jumped to the outside, but that might have cost him dearly because he's losing spots in a hurry. He's losing 5, 6 spots on the outside, and he times that by 2. He's lost a total probably 10 spots so far, so we'll see if he can get some followers. You see Tony Solar back there. He does have some damage, but he might jump up to that outside, but Brody Hanna needs to get back his way up here if he wants to have a chance to win this race.
He's got a good momentum shift right here, as those 2 trucks alone of, they're only 3 rows back now of the 46 and 84. And, if he would have checked up there on the exit of 2 for Adams, you might have actually caused a wreck if you had a lot of momentum. So shifting to the high side could have been a safety for a lot of these trucks. It's really hard to tell unless you're sitting in the seat knowing what's going on around you. But, yeah, that 23 and the 22 now have got to the lead here, as they are 3 wide essentially for the race lead.
Yeah, just that 2-truck tango right here, Jeremy's just paying off. I mean, you see they're pulling on the 4 or 5 trucks here on the inside, and then you got below them, and they're keeping it 3 wide as we're heading through the tri over here. But you still got John Adams in the way, but Brody Hanna's not giving up, and Christopher's trying to lead that inside lane, or that middle lane.
And they got the brooms out, man. They're blowing that dust off that top. We have not seen trucks on the tri-oval that high up. They're not even in the side draft range, and they're still able to do this. Those 2 Ford F-150s have really got something hooked up. Let's see if they can maintain that momentum here, as we have 16 laps to go as they cross the line that last time by. But right now in the backstretch, actually, the 23 and 22 are kind of falling back. That's going to bring Chris Stouffer in the 20 or 13, and then the 18 as well. maybe make some shifts here to get up to the front. But as I say that, the 23 looks like it's found a little bit more speed and headed back up toward potentially the front.
Yeah, and as I don't know if you noticed that there on Nerd TV as they were going down the backstretch, they passed the 19 to Richie Coy, who's making his way back up onto the track right now. He's got to make a couple of laps because there is some cars that he can, or trucks he can gain here. And Luke Brown, Nicholas Casey, so that's valuable spots, especially in the points right now. So Richie Coy trying to make up some valuable spots right now.
And the 11's kind of actually moved himself up. He's kind of getting closer and closer. He is within this main pack. He's got some nose damage there in that center line last truck, that dark green machine. You see him right there on the outside of the 85 of Gil Gawk. He might be able to do something. I'm not too sure if he has that speed. We'll have to find out. He's actually sucking in on that 22. So he definitely looks like he has that speed as I'm talking about him, showing it off. Looks a little unstable, but he's able to get up there and looks like that high side now has got something for him, Ken.
Yeah, get the fourth truck in line, and you can see they're passing John Adams. They're sitting on the inside, and another strong truck of Simon Maggon. As we see Gil Gawk, actually, he's going to go up on that high side, see if he can go around Stephen Verman. With Chuck Sweeting is going to be probably following him right behind him. So if you add those two trucks up to that outside lane, that's going to be a powerhouse because we were waiting on those two. And as you see, Brian Bliss actually jumps up in front of Brody Hanna there. So Brian Bliss is going to try to lead this race.
Yeah, Brian Bliss, 23 of Brody Hanna, the 22 as well of Michael Blackner, his second race in this series, leading the way on the top side. And we have not seen the trucks this fast on the top. Well, we've seen a couple of trucks explore it, but these three guys doing it really well, actually. In the 18 of Brian Bliss, we have not seen him lead a pack tonight.
Look at these lap cars coming up. Sorry to cut you off there, but this is going to make it interesting, Jeremy, as we're coming in the tri-oval as they're already three wide.
Absolutely. It's going to make it interesting for sure. Looks like they give out the most space possible. They still run at 2 or 3 wide here, and 85 and 11 cut it a little close as they exit the tri-oval. But they get through cleanly, and that's going to bring these guys back to some racing action. But those three guys on the top lane are just, they're doing something. It's Chris Stouffer in the 85, or 84 rather, of John Adams as well. They just made a really good push there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off on that one. Yeah, it's a great battle with these three wide. As John Adams doesn't have that car sucked up right to his bumper, and he's still kind of keeping up with him. But great push here between with Brody Hanna and Brian Bliss here as they're going to take the lead. Actually, they're pulling a whole truck length on him. I'm waiting for Brian Bliss to see if he's going to come down the inside, but I think Brian's enjoying up there on the high side with Brody Hanna.
Yeah, no worries on that cutoff. When I get excited, I like to keep just rumbling my mouth. So you got to do that every once in a while. But these guys are still 3 by 3 for second, third, and fourth place. Chris Stover, the only truck not having anybody to his outside. And that Chrome number 13 and 46 are leading the way right now with just 12 laps remaining.
This is great little racing up here at the front. Everyone keeps on jumping around, icing for position, and you're having a new leader every lap. So definitely have a lot of trucks here that's going to contend for it. As we're on 12 laps to go. You see that top side that had such a great run of momentum, kind of losing it a little bit, but they're going to try and bring it back. But that inside lane now is pushing. So this is changing up every single lap, and it just kind of depends on who's going to be in what lane.
Yeah, it's really tough to decide what position to be in and what time, because we send that outside do some awesome work, and all of a sudden it's not there. And you still only have the 3 trucks this whole time really been up on the top side. They showed some speed, and now they're kind of lackluster. 13 there on the bottom is kind of showing that he's a lead truck. It's a good person to be pushing. So the 46 is doing so, and he's doing it well with the 7 behind him. And they're actually, that little 3 truck tandem alone is showing some excellent speed.
Yeah, they are. And the one that I think if I'm kind of sitting, other than being the 84, I think I'd want to be right with the 84, whether you're pushing him or you're being pushed by him, because he's had a strong truck all night, and he's been making moves, whether he's going on the low side or the high side. So we've seen if the 46 and the 84 have gotten together, they've been pretty good. They've been pushing well, as well as the 23 if he gets in the mix. So I think right now, kind of the 3 that I'm looking at, the 46, 84, and 23, Jeremy.
Nicholas Casey, the first lap truck, is going to get out of the way just in time for the 13 to pass by and everybody else. Nice, smart, clean move by Nicholas Casey to get out of the way. That's going to bring these guys back to, duking it out here. Don't have to worry about the lap trucks for another little bit. But I'm surprised that that high line still, 3 trucks making a move, and Jonathan's in the 84. Usually that middle line's a sucker hole, but that truck's just so strong leading the way too, with Martin Garreau behind him. Just putting on some really impressive racing, and now we're inside 10 laps to go.
And, like we mentioned earlier, some trucks are set up to be pushers and some trucks are set up to be, running in the open air there. And I don't know if anything with the 18 kind of being out front there in front of Brody Hanna, if that set up the moon, as we see Brody Hanna, as he's going to spin Brian Bliss. Wayne Grassy's going to right back into him. Big caution here. That's going to take out Brody Hanna. As we see him stuck up to the fence, coming down right in front of Kenneth Schultz and Chuck Sweeting. That is, as we were just speaking of that is unfortunate.
Massive wreck there. Brian Bliss came down across the nose of John Adams to try to lead the way on the middle line and just did not have enough room, and it caused some contact, and it threw Wayne Grassy hard into the inside door there of Brody Hanna, and Brony, like you said, kind of a little 50-50 grind there on the safer barrier.
Yeah, Brody Hanna got the worst of it, as most of the people today. He is going to be up in smoke. He had the 50-50 grind there, and then his motor is letting it loose, so that is going to end it for him. And I was just saying, as he's getting the run on the outside, he might have had that truck that he needs to be in the lead, and it looked like he might have been trying to make a move. I couldn't tell there if he was trying to go on the outside or what when he got in the back of Brian Bliss there.
Yeah, just cut that super close, and it I know it's under 10 laps to go. You got to do what you got to do, and just a little too close there, and it took out quite a few good trucks there. That 7 Wayne Grassy inside the top 3, I think. Yeah, he was inside the top 3 at that point. Of course, it took out Brody Hanna, who's been up there in a dominant fashion. John Adams able to, break out of that, not have any issues himself. Gil Gawk in the 85 involved with it. Chuck Sweeting barely missed it as everyone wrecked right in front of him. Kenneth Schultz came in a little late, made some contact. So it looks about 5 or 6 trucks with damage in this one.
Yeah, well, I went back and I'm taking a look here, Jeremy, and it looks like Brian Bliss actually came down in front of the 84 there of John Adams, and he wasn't clear all the way. Lost a little bit of momentum when he was coming down, and John Adams just got into the back of the 18. Brody Hanna was already clear on the outside, and when he ended up getting the Wayne Grassy, that's what got into Brody. So, unfortunate, it doesn't look like Brian Bliss was completely clear there on the 84 John Adams.
Yeah, just cut it too close, and sometimes you got to learn the hard way of where your bumper's at exactly in your mirror. And if you're relying on the iRacing spotters, sometimes he's pretty accurate for the most part, but sometimes it's a little delayed. And I think that's the case there. We saw the 18 falling victim to that, which brought out the second caution under 10 laps to go. Quick shout out too as well. This time to iRacing iFlag. Since we're under caution, how fitting to bring out a system sponsor that shows caution flags and any indication really that iRacing throws out to you. It doesn't matter what flag is out on the track: green, yellow, white, checkered, meatball, which is everyone's favorite flag to see. Or if you don't have a spotter, if you need someone to call you high, call you low, whatever the case is, this iRacing iFlag 3D printed device is super awesome for any sim rig. You're going to go to iRacingIFlag.com, and if you decide to buy one, make sure to use that promo code SUPERNERD at checkout. 15% off of anything in your shopping cart.
Great product to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think, actually, Kenneth Schultz was going to be the lucky dog, but he was involved in that wreck. Trying to see who exactly maybe been the Martin Sports lucky dog reward winner. Not too sure, because quite a few of these trucks that were lapped down were actually involved with it, so they get skipped.
I think it was Bobby Terrell, I believe, that went ahead and had that lucky dog. I saw him make a pass by as you were reading off that wonderful iRacing iFlag product.
You know what? You were actually absolutely correct. Going back and watching his replay, he was deemed that reward winner. So go get yourself a lap there, Mr. Bobby Terrell. Back on the lead lap. Try to see if you can get as many points as you can to kind of see if you can gain some ground on Casey McMullen. That's with that hashtag Get a Grip Lucky Dog Driver.
Well, he's sitting 11 spots ahead of Casey, and he came in 13 points behind. So it's, and we know Casey's led a lap, so he's going to have a point there. I'm trying to recall if Bobby was up there leading up. I don't recall if he was or not. Either way, if he kind of keeps where he's at right now, it's going to be a really close battle here when the points are done, if they kind of finish the way they are.
Yeah, I know he was in that last group to pit with that 4 trucks. he might have actually led one lap. Well, he might have led one lap exiting pit road, if anything. Outside of that, though, he hasn't been in the front per se, but he might have got one lap in. I guess we'll find out when the official results are presented by Sim Racing Points. But these guys will be going back to green flag action this time by rather. They're going to be on lap number 70, so it's going to produce a nice little 6-lap shootout for everybody here. Kenny, expectations for this final 6 laps. Do we see a green flag all the way through? Do we see Christopher and the 46 of Steve Magnan, kind of do this thing, or do we see another wreck?
Kind of as we saw throughout the season so far, when we've had a couple of wrecks back, pretty close to each other, they've calmed it down and kept it green. So I think we're going to see a green flag finish here when they go back racing with 6 to go. And, from what we're seeing right now, I still keep my eye on the 46 and the 84. Those two have been kind of the class of the field tonight, and they're sitting there. We got a little bit of damage. I think John Adams had a little bit from that incident from getting into him, but not enough to slow him down. So those two are the ones I'm going to look at. And they're starting 1-2, or on that outside lane together. So it'll be a good one to watch.
And I did say Steve Magnan. I have to correct myself. It's Simon Magnan. I don't know why that came about, but I figured I'd call myself out on that. But that Rumble Racing Chevrolet, definitely looking strong. And behind his person that's behind him, John Adams, is his other teammate. They're in that Martin Garreau number 50. So if maybe those guys can get linked up, this might be the new system here for these final 6 laps, but only time will tell. Pace car is down, so we're just going to wait for Late Larry to, of course, do his job, which is be late in throwing this green flag. Let's see what happens here. I expect a pretty good, clean restart. Maybe the inside line runs it for a lap or two, but then I really expect some 3 wide up front. That top line has been proven to be dominant if you get the right amount of trucks and the right amount of people up there. Well, let's see what happens. Green flag is out. Got a great jump there by the 46 of Simon Magnan and John Adams to his top side, but there's just a lot more trucks there on the bottom, and, this 13 might be in a good spot.
Yeah, we had a slow start there for Wayne Grassi, who kind of bunched up this group. So we're going to have 2 groups here, as you see on Nerd TV. And I don't know if these guys are going to be able to group up enough to catch them and run down if this front group can stay running as they are. So we'll see what happens there. But as we're speaking of that, Simon Magnan's going to be taking the lead. Let's see if he drops it down to the inside right in front of Christopher, as we've been seeing all night. That's going to leave John Adams on the outside leading the way. So here's the battle right here between the 46 and the 84.
Maybe. Oh, we got heavy contact. 32.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Just immense amount of damage, and he looks like he gets hit by some other drivers as well. That being Andrew Palicki.
Palicki?
Yeah, Palicki in the 32 just crushes the outside wall for turn number 4. And then, it looked like, was that Magnan? Or not Magnan, but Sylvain Jolly in that 08?
Yeah, I believe that was Sylvain Jolly that kind of came in there, almost avoided it.
Yeah, it really knocked the toe out of that thing. That thing is done for. But you're going to see a little free-floating camera action here behind that number 32, Andrew Palicki. We're going to see exactly what happened there. 31 on his bumper. Just coming through the corner. Everything looks clean up to this point. 31 creeps in a little back-up issue here. And then that right rear bumper, you can't make contact there, especially in a corner. Even the straightaways, it's dangerous. But in a corner, it, on iRacing, you just can't do that, and it destroyed Andrew Palicki.
Yeah, we see most of the, with those wrecks are going to be kind of pushing on that right rear bumper. And, right there, as we see Sylvain Jolly almost avoids him and just barely gets into him there. But, like you said, knocked the toe out on that one, it looked like, as he's now on pit road. But hard hit there for Andrew Palicki as he is coming off the 4 there.
I know 2 people that are particularly excited right now is probably Anik and Yvonne Magnan cheerleading that 46 all the way. He's currently in first place. We'll be leading this thing. Probably not the official green-white checker, but it's going to be close to it. Demi caution laps that they run this time, but that 46 and that 13 looking pretty good. Let's see. They're going to be starting side by side. We're going to have the 84 on the bottom there with Magnan, which that combination's been pretty good. And it actually looked like Simon was not really worried about his teammate. He dipped down low early to, hold his position, and it was going to drop back that 50 because it was one less truck on the top.
Yeah, I'm It's going to be hard here. I'm with the 46 and the 84 linking up, but we've been watching John Adams, and he's been making moves like we were saying all night, going from the high to the low side. So I wouldn't expect him to see if he gets a run to jump up there and try to battle for the lead. So it'll be an interesting start. And Chris Stouffer, he might be sitting in the right spot too if those two go at it. Looks like I believe that's the 88 as well. Yep, 88 there, got the lucky dog. So that's going to put him, I believe, back to 1 lap down.
Yeah, that'll be your lucky dog driver from Martin Sports. Hashtag get a grip, Mr. Mark Dubril. You get yourself a lap back. That's going to put you only 1 lap down instead of 2. So if there's another quick incident, I don't think there's going to be a green white checker. So there might be another chance that he gets, to lead lap. We'll find out. You never know with these super speedway races. They've presented some really interesting finishes in the past, and I'm not really expecting anything different this time at Talladega.
No, you never know what to expect at this track or Daytona, anything like that, because you have some dominant trucks that's been leading the way, and then now they've had some issues or got dropped back, and then you have some that's kind of been waiting in the wayside, and now here they are running up front. So it can jump around at any moment in between a bunch of these guys, and we said we still have 16 here, at least 13, 12 of them I know are full power, so it'll be a good battle towards the end.
Absolutely, and since we have a little intermission here before we go back to green flag to finalize this race for you guys, quick shout out to the Butt Kicker, the official audio enhancement provider of all of Nerditudes, especially that Gamer 2 unit, as I said in the pre-race show there. If you want to feel all the bumps and feels of any racing surface inside your sim rig, whether it be sitting in a computer chair, an actual sim rig, or just a TV or a dinner chair, whatever you're sitting in while racing, bring the action directly underneath your butt there, so to speak. And you're going to find their products at thebuttkicker.com, and you're going to use that promo code NERDTV, 20% off anything that you purchase from them. It looks like we are potentially going green flag next time by, as you see some of these trucks looking to go side by side. Yep, caution lights are out. Non-official green white checker, but this will be a green white checker, so maximum of 2 attempts it looks like. Let's see if these guys can sort it out this time, because we've already seen a lot of good trucks be taken out, and I would hate to see more of that.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep this thing green and have a nice clean finish here. And what's your expectations for what might happen? Do you think you're going to have someone like Simon Magin or John Adams, who's been up at the front all night, kind of lead this way, or do you think you might have someone sitting back there in about 7th, Chuck Sweeting, or 8th of Alex Murphy, that might sweep in here at the last moment and sneak one out?
I wouldn't be surprised at that 18. That's a long stretch there, but he's sitting six row back on that top side. I think he might be one of those guys to potentially watch out for. Those guys right in front of him haven't really been up in the front, so I can't really say for sure what they have in store for us. But I mean, minus that 18, I'm also pulling for that 46. That truck's bad fast, and he's got a really good pusher behind him in that 84, John Adams. So I think for me personally, if it's not going to be 18, it's going to be the 46 and 84.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the 46 and 84 have shown their way, and the 18's the one I'm keeping an eye on because of that incident that he was in right before. He didn't have too much damage, but he did collect a little bit, so I don't know how much speed he lost because we didn't really get a good run for it, but he has been up front all night, so he's definitely one to keep an eye on. But yeah, 46 and 84, those are my two as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a couple of drivers that it's really hard to go against what they've produced, other than if you go with the 13 of Chris Stouffer. Been doing excellent, but Sherwood Williford's been up there. Hasn't showed like really good, strong amount of speed, but he has been up there to contend. So he might show a little bit of a late push as well. We'll see here in another lap or two. And our producer Dustin in my ear at the same time says you never can count out that number 3 at Talladega, especially when it's an all black silver side skirt and a white number with a red outline. Of course, that's your famous Dale Earnhardt Sr. paint job there. And so let's see if maybe he's got some luck on his side with that skin. But green flag is out. Huge jump there by the 31 over the number 3. Not sure if that's going to waive any penalty because he did definitely shifted lines before the start-finish line. We'll see how that goes. But Great launch by the 31 nonetheless, but the 46 and 84 look like are going to have the advantage exiting turn number 2, Ken.
Yeah, that's going to bring the 1 up there. So the 31's hung up on the I side by himself, so he might be out for a dry and might not have any teammates to finish this race, but that's the 84 and the 46 are heading down the backstretch. You see they're getting a big advantage here with the 13. You can see the 84 jump to the high side. That's going to try to get in front of 13. 13 looks like he's almost in the wall, but he saved it, but they're going to check up a little bit. That's going to leave the 46 out front.
That pushed the 13 up high. Thankfully, he's able to save that thing. Excellent driving there by the 13, Christopher. But that's now going to shift the 84 of John Adams into a really good launch off the exit turn number 4 with Sherwood in that 33 right behind him. Christopher back to the top. Does not want to help John Adams anyways. We're coming to the white flag side by side for the race lead.
We're going to go 3 wide here, Jim. We're going to have 3 rows of 3 wide. Looks like they're going to try to have Christopher going to lead that high side on the trying to get the lead, but you're going to have the 84 and the 46, the 2 that's going to be battling all night. They're still going to be side by side here as we're coming off of turn 2. You're going to have Simon Magin. Looks like he's going to get it, but we saw him, the 84, getting the run, and see if he gets it clear. If he can come on the inside, you know he's going to take it. So the 46 needs to do all he can do. And great push there by his teammate of the 50 Germans. They're heading down to 3 and 4 one last time.
The teammates finally get hooked up at the right time. The last lap, the outside gets a little
hard
shifted
hit.
And huge wreck. 33 up in the air. Kevin Rupert also in the air. No caution is out by iRacing. This is going to settle it. Green flag action. We got 7 trucks for the lead. Side-by-side teammate. Let's see if Martin Garreau can take advantage over the 46 for the first time.
Gonna get the run.
He's going to get the run. The outside breaks up, and it's going to be Simon Magden with his fan base going to take the checker flag in the Talladega 75.
What a run. And you saw there the 50 of Martin Garreau there actually had the lead for a second. And he went up high there to block John Adams, and that gave the 46 that momentum, and that slowed that high side up. So great run. And look who came in second there, Jeremy, Chuck Sweeting. So great run there by Chuck to finish it off, coming in second.
I almost wanted to pick him, but I did not think that was going to be the issue. But with all the incidents that happened there, the lap prior, kind of set him up great. And yeah, when Simon or his teammate Martin Garreau went to the top side, Chuck Sweeting kind of took that advantage and put himself in an awesome position in second place. Great job overall there by Rumble Racing, especially in that 46, taking home the checker flag.
Did you see that shot there that we had on Nerd TV of Christopher going sideways as he's coming across the line there?
I was able to catch just for a quick moment there, but we're going to get another action of that. But yeah, getting turned right at the start finish line, finishing in third place. You can't miss that chrome truck, Ken.
No, you can't. I think I heard 4 wide on the radio here. Yeah, right there. We see a little bit of 4 wide, and that's what caused all that. Sherwood Wilford was running really. Oh, we got a truck upside down. I think that was the one of Kevin Rupert. But yeah, just multiple people joining in the party today, going up in smoke. It's that was one of the probably the 3rd big wreck of the night.
Yeah, and Talladega, these wrecks don't ever underproduce. And style points aside, that 33 went up and did like a little McTwist, so to speak, and landed on all 4s. They were going to be on the roof here. I can't tell exactly who that is, but definitely on his lid. That was Kevin Rupert. Sorry, that number 1 there. Went up on his lid, and the camera survives as he finally rolls back onto his wheels, hits the outside wall. Heavy wreck for that number 1.
Yep, that was a hard hit there on multiple ones. But as we see, they're at the start-finish line, burning it down there, celebrating. What a great win! What a dominating performance by this. You see the teammates down there doing group burnouts. So what a great show that they put on tonight.
Yeah, and that's actually that number 31 and the 3rd truck in the Rumble Racing. Wasn't up there until the very end. Finished 7th. So great overall performance by Rumble Racing entirely. As they finished 1st, 5th, and 7th. So we see Simon going backwards around the track as we bring some replays of all the action that just happened that last lap or so. But I think that's going to kick it to the Martin Sports post-race show. We're able to go over all of the official results for you and talk to the top 3, being Simon, Chuck, and Chris. Try to recap everything for you, that crazy final lap and a half. As you, Simon, still excited, still putting out some burnouts. Overall, great performance here. We see Simon Magden take home the checker flags, Chuck Sweeting second, Christopher ends up in third. Awesome performance by him. John Adams maintains the top 5, one outside the podium in fourth. You got Martin Garreau finishing in the top 5. Tony Solari, after that early wreck, brings it home in sixth. Now that third Rumble Racing truck, Alex Murphy in seventh. We see Steven Vrooman in eighth. Bobby Terrell in ninth. And to round out the top 10, Brian Bliss in that 18.
Going to have 11th place going to be Gil Gawk. 12th will be Michael Blackner. 13th, Wayne Grassy. 14th, Kevin Rupert, who we saw doing a little tumble in there after turn 3 and 4 at the last lap. Coming home in 15th is going to be Sherwood Wilford. 16th is Thomas Ridgway. 17th, Mark Dubril. 18th, Kenneth Schultz. 19th is going to be Claude Furlan. And 20th, Andrew Palicki.
Round out the rest of the field, Sylvain Jolly in 21st. Nicholas Casey in 22nd. 23rd place ends up being Richie Coy. 24th, Brody Hanna. 25th place, Tommy Brandon. 26th place, going to be Luke Brown. 27th, your points leader coming into this event, Casey McMullen. 28th will be Zach McDaniel. 29th, Brandon Elder. And that 21, Jeff Langston, rounds out the field out of 30 trucks. And I do believe we have Christopher available for his post-race interview. I think he's out of his truck. We're going to go trackside and see if we can find him. Mr. Christopher, do you have a copy?
I got you.
Crazy race, man. You put on a hell of a show, really, all race long. You had a really dominant truck. What was your expectations there in the final 10 laps, and how did you bring it home in third?
Well, I just wanted to survive, the end of the race, which I managed to do. I get right there at the line. But yeah, I managed to bring it home third. I got up front and didn't want to see that caution. I felt pretty good when I was up there. And then we got that caution and had the one restart. I ended up being second. Then, just I didn't get a lot of help up high. And, again, it was just all about survival at that point. And I saw him wrecking behind me in turn 3. And I guess I just, made the wisest decision I could and went for the open hole and ended up third.
Yeah, it was a great moves to kind of get around there and get that third place. And I saw you come across the line there, got tagged just right as you were going, made a great little slow-mo there of you coming sideways across the start finish and taking that podium finish. Great run. We know you missed a couple races this season, so without those 2 races, you'd be right up there contending for these points. So every time we see you on the track, we love watching you because you put on a show and always run a good race.
Well, I appreciate that. I always try to be respectful of everybody else, around me, and just in a golden rule, do unto others as you want done to you. So, you know, um, yeah, you're right. If I could have made a few more races there, I probably would be up in the points battle for the lead. But it's just real life comes first sometimes, and the little hobby here has to take second place.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And yeah, you're doing pretty good in points considering I think you've missed 3 races. And yeah, if you had a little more time, maybe. But yeah, definitely life comes first. This is just a video game at the end of the night. So, which FTSR appreciates you trying to show up whenever you can. But congratulations once again on your 3rd place podium finish. Anybody out there on Nerd TV like to give a quick shout out to?
Well, thank you guys for broadcasting, Brody, for putting on the league. A lot of good guys out here racing. It's always fun when I do get to race with everybody. A lot of respect, and that's about all you can ask for. So, shout out to the league, and hopefully I can be here next week and put on another good show.
Absolutely, we'll be looking forward to it. Congratulations once again, man.
Thank you.
And that was your 3rd place finisher, Mr. Christopher. Looks like we got Chuck Swinning available, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to talk to our race winner, Simon. We're trying to get him in here to see if we can talk to him, but right now it looks like we have Chuck available. As we go trackside with Chuck. Chuck Swinning, got a copy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Going pretty good up here. You weren't on my list, on my watch list for the final 10 laps, and that Gator Racing machine was able to bring it home in 2nd. How did you manage to get through everything and put yourself into the podium?
Just stayed on my toes all night and avoided all the accidents, and just knew on that last restart just had to go. And I don't know, the seas kind of parted. I ended up behind the leader and just stuck with him right across the line, just trying to get a good finish, good points night. And because I usually don't finish these races, unfortunately, so pretty happy with second place.
Yeah, we were sitting there watching you all night with your teammate Gilgaw, kind of catching with each other. You kind of break apart and come back together. And on that last restart, I was telling Jeremy, you see Chuck sitting back there in 8th place. We'll see if he can make a move, and you did. And I thought you might have had something there on coming to the start finish line at the end of the race there because you had the momentum. But do you think you might have had something for him, or did you kind of just stick behind him to secure that second place?
I was afraid if I tried to move up, I was going to hit the 50 truck, I think it was, and it either hit him or he'd come back down and I'd hit the 46 or something. We'd all end up wrecking and somebody else would win. So I just played it safe there and then pushed him across the line. But yeah, Gil had some damage, unfortunately. We had some plans to push each other up front, but didn't get a chance to at the end there. But we both finished, and that's always a good thing when you come to one of these tracks.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. It's a lot of luck. It's a lot of skill involved. It's a good mixture. Started 18th, so you started mid pack, and you're able to come home with a second place finish. Congratulations once again, man. Is there anybody out there in the Nerd TV world that you'd love to give a quick shout out to?
Just want to thank Sim Racing Points and all the admins with the league that do so much hard work to put on one of these shows every a couple nights a week. So appreciate them helping out, and we'll try to go get a win next week.
We'll be looking forward to it, man. Congratulations once again.
Thanks a lot.
And that was your second place finisher, Mr. Chuck Sweeting. I do not believe we're going to get a word in with Simon. So if you are watching out there, Simon, and your fan base, congratulations on your first win here this season at Talladega Super Speedway. Awesome performance done by your team there at Rumble Racing, entirely being 1st, 5th, and 7th. All right.
It looks like there was a little shout out too. It looks like we had Anik that said go Magden, and then Samuel was in the chat as well. Go 46. Woo! Simon Magden. So gained some more support too. So definitely had that tonight for him.
As you guys see out there, the cheerleading squad definitely works. So get in that chat system, make it happen. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I do believe Magnan's available at the last moment. So let's see if we can try to bring him in to get a word with your race winner. Mr. Magden, you got a copy.
Yeah.
The nick of time you showed up, man. Congratulations on that dominant performance, really, by your whole entire team. How are you able to keep it up for the front for so long and then pull it off there at the end?
Thanks. A lot of work with my teammate. The truck is running so well. Everything is okay tonight. And the last week, same thing. 2 weeks with a good run, but I'm happy.
Yeah, it was a great dominating performance. You were definitely a truck that we were watching tonight. You and the 84 had a great battle, and you had quite the support group tonight in the chats too. Had quite a few people cheering you on. So you had the momentum, on the internet and on the track.
Yeah, it's perfect because now we only 3 races for the rest of this season. But now I'm ready for this 3 race.
Yeah, man. Well, we're looking forward to see what you can do with those final 3 races of this season. And congratulations once again, man.
Thank you so much, guys.
That's right. Do you have a quick shout out too, by the way, since we got you on air here? Anyone watching other than your fan base that's been leading you on the whole entire event?
Yes, thanks to my teammate first. Thanks to my wife, family, friends. Thanks to you, and thanks for that's thank you, guys.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words, man. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night and celebrate with the team, man, on an awesome victory.
Thank you so much.
Thankfully, we were able to get a hold of Simon there at the last moment in time. Yeah, perfect timing there. Congratulations to him once again. All right. 3 races left. Simon said it. We got pretty cool looking schedule here to round out the season here with Dover, Darlington, and then Kansas. 3 different unique tracks, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, you can go get the Monster Mile, then you can get the Darlington Stripe, and then you finish it off with Kansas, which is kind of one of those, which doesn't seem like it would be a hard track, but sometimes it's just hard to pick up on it. So it's a nice little end to the schedule. It's 3 different tracks, completely different driving styles. So I'm excited to see how this thing finishes out.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think Kansas is going to put on a hell of a performance with that progressive banking that they have over there, that they've had now for several years. And as the track just wears in, it gets better and better. So it's a pretty decent venue to round out your season finale for sure. I have not seen it personally, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. But I think that's going to bring tonight's broadcast to a closure, other than we got to do some quick thank yous one last time. That allows us to do this for you every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Nerd TV, no matter if you're watching from Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook Gaming. The quick shout-outs first and foremost, FTSR, thank you for letting us do this for you. Been an awesome season so far, and we will officially be back for the Truck Series for the next season. So congratulations to us and for allowing our FTSR to allow us to do this for you for another season. So we're definitely anticipating that, and they're really excited over here in the nerd group in general to bring action to you for another season in these trucks, because they're just so much fun to watch. But if you want to be part of action for the remaining of this season, or join us fresh for next season on our Wednesdays, head over to ftsr.net and sign up, and the admins will gladly work you in, and we might potentially see you guys on the track next season. Thank you again to Sim Racing Points, of course, your Truck Series sponsor tonight. Great software to upload and manage all your point systems. Please go to their website, simracingpoints.com. Check out their pricing plans. Trust me, you want to use this product if you're any league admin looking for a point management system. And then we have Martin Sports, the official partner or apparel partner of Nerditudes, and the sponsor of the Lucky Dog Award winner as well. They make the best sim gloves in all of sim racing. And they also make customized shirts, hoodies, and hats. And they have the fastest turnaround in the business with any order that you place. And when you do place an order, you're going to go 25% off with Super Nerd at checkout at martinsports906.com. A quick shout out to iRacing, iFlag, official flag partner of Nerditudes. It's a 3D printed light system and indication system for all of iRacing's needs. Head over to iRacingIFlag.com. Use Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off. And then the Butt Kicker, official audio enhancement provider of Nerditudes. Get that Gamer 2 unit. You won't. It's something that you've missed. You probably don't have it, but if you do have it, it's something that's really awesome to have, and you'll never not want to have it again. Head over to thebuttkicker.com, Nerd TV checkout for 20% off. And a quick thank you to our official energy partner of Nerd Focus, nerdfocus.com. Use Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off their 2 drinks. And thank you to Moonlight Speed Concepts. Head over to moonlightspeed.com for all your asphalt setup needs. Professional setups done over there. And as well as on the dirt side, we're going to find House of Speed, houseofspeed.us. Again, professional setups over there as well. All right. We have 3 weeks left in the trucks, 4 weeks left in the Cup Series, which we will see you guys Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Please tune in. Get the chats ready. It shows that it works. Simon proved it here. He had 2 people cheering him on, and he was able to pull this thing off. Let's see if we can do this at Talladega one last time in the Cup Series. But until then, stay safe out there, everyone, and always get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.